waiting on you, and you got time.
Orange is the New Black takes a serious issue of race and portrays it in both in the major issues as well as the everyday comments that usually tend to go unnoticed. By showing racism in a more lighthearted way, it shows it for what it really is. Racism is the everyday comments and the normalized separation of races and ethnicities. When seeing this in the show, we laugh and go along with the subtle jokes and stereotypical characters, but in the end, it really makes us think. The way the show portrays the normalized separation of races would be through their bunks and the names given to them. The ghetto bunks are where the black girls stay, the suburbs are where the white girls stay, and the Spanish Harlem is where the Hispanic girls stay. This separation is so normal to us, but in reality, it's a big problem. When Piper first comes to prison, Murillo gives her a toothbrush saying, "We look out for our own. It's not racist, it's tribal, but it is racist." The mindset of Murillo is exactly what is wrong with racism in our society. We quote-unquote look out for our own, but that's just separating the races even more, just like the bunks within this fictional prison. Another way of showing race is through the Whack Pack. Each race has their own representative for this meeting. They have a white representative, which is Piper, a black representative, which is Tasty, a Hispanic representative, which is Maria, and a representative for the others, which is Chang. The process in which they choose these women had a lot of race issues throughout, and even was supported by the guards and COs. When Pennsatucky and Tasty are going back and forth, Pennsatucky says maybe they should have a whites-only bathroom, which is only the tip of the iceberg of all the racial comments thrown out in the debates for the WAC representative. Race plays a huge role in this episode, and the show portrays that perfectly. Orange is the New Black shows racism and stereotypes as well as white privilege through the one and only Piper Chapman. Piper is the perfect example of white privilege in that since she's white and grew up wealthy, she's somehow better than everyone else. However, the show is quick to shut that down. Piper made a mistake and is paying for it just like everyone else in prison, regardless of her skin color. White privilege is also shown through Pusey and Tasty's skit in Mackenzie and Amanda and their nonsense white problems.
You think this white people politics? Let's talk about healthcare, Mackenzie.
Oh, Amanda, I'd rather not. It's not polite.
Well, did you see that wonderful new documentary about the best sushi in the world? Of course, now that I'm vegan, I didn't enjoy it as much as I might have
You
before.
know, I just don't have the time. Chad and I have our yoga workshop, then wine tasting class, and then you have to have really quiet sex every night at 9.
Well, did you hear that piece on NPR about hedge funds?
Amanda, let me ask you. What do you think about my bangs these days? I mean, do you like them straight down, or should I be doing more of a sweep to the side?
Sweep to the side.
This is a good way to show white privilege in a humorous way with also getting the point across that these problems are harmless and not actual problems. This show does a great job of showing off different race issues and stereotypes, from the separated bunks to Whack Pack to the obnoxious white privilege of Piper Chapman, as well as having a diverse cast to show this real side of race and class in prison. They show racism in the ways that sometimes slip our minds and that society has normalized. By showing these race issues through humor, it really makes us as viewers think about the bigger issue and that racism is still something we are fighting against. Race is a huge problem within our society, and Orange is the New Black shows us how big of a problem it is through humor as well as very serious scenes and comments. Skin color does not make you any more or less of a person, and that lesson is shown clearly throughout this series.